When was the president first aware of these problems, of these fraudulent lists that were being kept to hide the wait times? When was he first made aware of those problems? And when did other White House officials, top White House officials, become aware of these problems?
When you say these problems, the fact that there have been bureaucracies,
but
if you mean the specific allegations that I think were reported first by your network out of Phoenix, I believe we learned about them through the reports.
There you heard it, our Jim Acosta with the question. The White House press secretary Jay Carney stating unequivocally that President Obama did not know about the dangerously long wait times at VA hospitals until CNN reported it. Our investigative unit broke the story some 6 months ago, and we keep hearing now new allegations about these fraudulent and secretive wait lists.
The latest allegations now are from Gainesville, Florida. Chris Freites is with our investigative team. He joins us from Washington along with retired Gunnery Sergeant Jessie Jane Duff. She, of course, is involved with Concerned Veterans for America. Chris, I want to start with you here. Tell us about these new accusations coming from Florida.
Well, I'll tell you, John, so this is the latest in a string of accusations, this time in Gainesville, Florida, where auditors went into the VA there and found that officials were using paper documents, paper wait lists, instead of the electronic ones. Now, this is important because in Phoenix, remember, they found that there were two separate lists, an unofficial list that had veterans waiting for months for care, and an official electronic list that showed that they were waiting no longer than 14 days. So now we have another case in Florida where there was a paper list. 3 officials have been put on administrative leave as auditors look into exactly what that list was being used for.
Concerns about Florida. We know that 40 veterans died waiting for appointments at the Phoenix VA healthcare system, as Chris was saying. Jesse, you got to wonder, and you can tell us best from talking to other veterans, how much confidence do they have that the administration is going to get to the bottom of this, investigate it properly, and then make sure it's not going to happen again?
Well, most veterans out there believe that the VA is just waiting for them to die. There are 19 states now that have been exposed with either delaying care, hiding appointments, or deleting records. I mean, in Albuquerque, New Mexico alone, they were putting up appointments for 4 months for brain tumors, gangrene, heart ailments. And by the time they get in, often it was too late. Down in Harlingen, Texas, they had to test positive 3 times in screenings before they would even get a colonoscopy. By then, they went from stage 1 to stage 4 cancer, which is inoperable. This has been going on and is systemic throughout the VA.
So, Chris, to be fair, Jay Carney, what Jay Carney said in that clip we played before was that the president knew of the Phoenix incident with the people on the wait list there and the maybe, doctoring the books there was when CNN first reported it. But there is this larger question about how much the White House has been involved in VA issues in general and whether this administration is providing the oversight that Barack Obama promised when he first ran for office. So what do we know about the quality of the oversight and when the president may have been informed about problems in general?
Well, problems in general, John, go back to the transition. And we know that the president was briefed on problems in the VA going back to 2008 when he took over. So this has been a systemic problem in Washington. And, I talked to, before I came on, I just got off the phone with a White House official. And they like to point out that Secretary Shinseki has tried to decrease wait times to make sure that more disabled veterans were getting seen and that bigger pool of people were getting seen faster. And they point to these things, but they're very quick to say, but clearly there are still problems. And if there are these wait times and there's allegations that veterans were dying while waiting for care, they're taking them very seriously and they're looking into them. But what's more important, I think, John, than kind of what did the White House It's also, what did VA officials know and when did they know them? When did the Secretary know about this? The House Committee on Veterans Affairs is looking into this. They subpoenaed some documents from the VA just yesterday, so we're trying to get a sense of what they may find there. And we're not quite sure what's in them, but we're going to take a look. But what we do know, John, is at this point, the Inspector General, that's the independent agency that's looking into this, is looking into at least 10 states where there are these waitlist problems.
Shinseki has vowed to stay on to fix the problem, but there's a lot of people wondering if he should stay. We want to say a big thank you to retired Gunnery Sergeant Jessie Jane Duff, our Chris Freites as well. What Jessie said stuck with me, that a lot of veterans believe the VA is just waiting for them to die.